All right, hey, welcome to Pairwise. Here we are talking about the div tag. The div tag. So this is a tag that is ubiquitous on the web. It is everywhere. It is in probably every single website. Maybe. The web is big. I'm sure there are exceptions, but it is that prevalent. And the reason is it's extremely flexible. You could actually build an entire site with just divs. The main reason we often use things aside from divs is that they have some sort of meaning already assigned to them. Like a p tag represents a paragraph, and if you just drop a p tag into a website, it'll get displayed roughly as a paragraph, as you might expect a paragraph to be displayed. Similarly with h1, you'll get a heading tag, which means that the text will be big, much bigger than if it was a p tag, and so on and so forth. A lot of these tags have existing meaning, and some of them are actually quite special. They do things that a div wouldn't do, like the image tag, for instance. But all that being said, the div is extremely flexible, and it is very important when you're building layouts with CSS, when you're interacting with CSS. So let's take a look at this challenge. We want to give the page an orange background. So right now it's white, we want it to be orange. Wrap the existing h1 and p tags in a div. So that's what we got there. We got the h1 and we got the p tag, and style the div to have a teal background. All right, well, clearly we're building some very high-end UI here. It's going to look pretty good, but until we get there, let's take a look at the test real quick. So there should be a div. That seems fairly straightforward. We can make a div like that. And hey, we got a passing test. Look at us. So the thing that divs are often used for is putting other stuff inside of them. We can just put more text, just like that, and by default it'll show up over here just like a paragraph. But what we can also do is, so we can take a div and we can put other stuff inside of it, like say a paragraph. We can also maybe put a link, just the good old example.com. Let's say click me. There's our link, and there's our paragraph, and they're both inside the div. To make that more clear, let us add some style to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and expand out the whole programming area here, full screen editor. There we go. Get us some more space, and I'll even make that a little bit bigger. So we have some more space. I know that not everyone watches these videos on full screen, so larger text is generally better in this case. Let's say style, and you see we've nicely broken our site there. Style. All right, we've got our style. So we only have one div on the page, so let's take that div, and we can say background tomato. Look at that. We have a nice tomato background in here. We can say all the p tags within the div. We'll say I want you guys to have a background of orange. That's visible enough. And all of the a tags inside that div again, rather than not. Well, we only have one a tag, so we could just put it at the top there. But for consistency, let's put it inside the div. All the a tags, let's say text decoration none, and you'll see that it no longer has an underline there. That, in case you weren't watching, let's just bring that back, take it away, bring it back, take it away. You should see right over there that we've got the underline coming back and getting taken away. Yeah, maybe I should have used a more obvious style there, but this is the direction we went in. So there we go. We've styled some things, and you can see that these are inside the div. But something that's cool about having a div like this is we can come back up to the div, and a lot of elements will inherit their CSS properties from the div. So we can say, what do I say here? Font family. Let's say Helvetica new. It's a font that I know exists on my Mac here. It may or may not exist on your computer, but if you have a Mac computer, it will exist. And you see there are no more serifs here. We have a very different font. Again, just to show you the difference, there. We can zoom in here, there. Hey there. We'll zoom back out. So you'll notice that we didn't have to style the P, or not that P, this P. We didn't have to style it on its own to change its font, nor do we have to style this A tag on its own to change its font. We styled the div that they are inside of to change their font. So this is one way in which you can take large sections of your web page, your interface, and you can style them in some specific way by wrapping them in a div and styling that div. So that brings us to wrapping, the idea of wrapping. And maybe you can tell from my voice that I'm talking about wrapping, not rapper, apping. Is that right? Well, wrapping. No, I think it does have two P's. This is what spell checkers are for. Anyhow, we're going to wrap things. And what you saw in the challenge, I think, is that we want to wrap this H1 and this P. I don't want to do it for you, but let's just say down here we had, let's bring back P. And this is all we need. We'll just take this P and we will wrap it in a div, which is very, very simple. It just means take that element, whatever it was, or multiple elements, make a div, and put them inside of the div. There you go. This P tag is wrapped in that div. So that's the gist of this lesson. The div is extremely flexible element. We'll get into it a lot more as we go on in CSS, but for now, be comfortable with the idea of wrapping other tags in a div. So you'll want to wrap these ones up and apply some styles based on, where are we? Regular size editor, based on the challenge here, and you will see some nice green passing tests. All right.